Welcome back. Now, this Fox News alert: members of the Senate Judiciary Committee about to hold a hearing on Russian interference in the presidential election. A key witness, former acting Attorney General Sally Yates, set to testify about what she knew about the investigation and what she knew about Michael Flynn. Louisiana Senator John Kennedy will be sitting on that panel. He joins us right now. Senator, good to have you on the program. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thanks, Maria. How are you?
What are you looking to get from Sally Yates?
I want to know what she knew. I want to know when she knew it. And I want to know who she told it to. I think the president's suggested question, did she or does she know someone who did leak classified information, is a very fair question. In terms of Mr. Flynn, I'm not really interested in relitigating that. I think it's pretty clear. I'll stipulate, and whether they'll admit it or not, I bet the White House will too, that hiring Mr. Flynn was a mistake. It doesn't mean that the folks who hired him are bad people. It just means they're human. And I say he was a mistake because they fired him. You don't generally not make a mistake when you have to fire somebody. What I'm also interested in, though, is bringing this back home to the real issue, and that's the Russian influence in America's election. We got to get to the bottom of this. That's what our investigative agencies are doing. I'm hoping they're turning over every rock. I hope they do it quickly. I hope they present the facts to the American people. We'll let the chips fall where they may. But frankly, I'm ready to move on. We've got other issues besides Russians' involvement in the election, because guess what? They've been trying to become involved in our elections all the way back to the Nixon-Humphrey race.
Yes, exactly right. And that's really why I'm questioning you about it, because you say, you know, let's get to the bottom of it. They've been working on this for a long time. This narrative started at the Democratic National Convention when Debbie Wasserman Schultz was pushed out and they wanted to talk about something else other than her emails. It's still going on, and we're still hearing the same thing. We have no evidence of collusion.
Well, I wish they'd hurry up. I mean, we really need to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
This issue's been raised in the minds of the American people. Everybody in America doesn't read Aristotle every day, but most Americans get this. You know, they're smart folks. They figured it out. There's been an allegation that the Russians somehow influenced the result of the election. Let's get to the bottom of it, unless the chips fall where they may. But just because the Russians tried to doesn't mean they succeeded. I don't think the Russian activity, and I believe there was Russian activity, I don't think it determined the outcome of the election. But that's my opinion. Let's see the facts. Let's put it behind us.
Just to hit on something you said earlier, and obviously something that the president tweeted about, you will then ask Sally Yates on the record how this information got into the public newspapers.
You bet. Now, I'm assuming somebody before it's my turn to question will ask that question, but I'm going to talk to her exactly about leaking. I'm going to ask her, has she ever leaked classified information or otherwise? If she says yes, I'm going to ask her why she did it. I'm going to ask her to tell us she's under oath, who else has been leaking over there. I mean, let's get to the bottom of all of this and figure it all out.
Why are there so many Obama holdouts still in place within the White House?
You mean within the government?
Yeah, well, within government.
Because all you have to do is look at the pace with which we've been able to confirm the president's nominees. I mean, at the rate we're going, and it's frankly the fault of my friends, the Democrats on the other side of the aisle, the rate we're going, we'll have all of Mr. Trump's people confirmed about the day before he runs for re-election.
Well, I mean is there any, is there any accountability in terms of the obstructionism? Do you think there will be anyone who actually takes the fall or actually, is on the hook as a result of all of the obstructionism that we have seen since the president took office?
Well, there ought to be. I mean, every president is entitled to appoint his own people. Now, if they're an axe murderer, that's one thing. But if they're qualified, just because you don't like their politics, doesn't mean you don't vote to confirm them. By this time, most of President Obama's major appointments had been confirmed. Our process has been very slow because the Democrats have used every procedural roadblock they can.
That's right.
Now, that's their right. They're entitled to do that. But what's the point?
Well,
they know we've got the votes.
Their point is they want to stop the president's agenda, isn't it?
Well, that's not a fair point. Right. That may be a point, but that's not a fair point. I'm talking about a good faith point.
Yep. I understand. Sir, good to have you on the program this afternoon. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Maria. You bet.
Senator